Alright, so I'm sitting at the bus stop waiting, but while I'm here, I was like, I wanted to like make a video or whatever, right? So I have like some stuff I wrote down, right? And one of the topics I want to talk about today is top tier dreams versus 9 to 5 life, right? So I'm gonna start off with the 9 to 5 life because in the 9 to 5 life, you're not encouraged to think at a top tier level. You're encouraged to follow orders, you're encouraged to be a good employee, and you're encouraged to do your job well, right? But there are a lot of people that have a 9 to 5 job and a 9 to 5 life, but they have top tier dreams. A 9 to 5 job is not a 9 to 5 job is not going to encourage you to follow your dreams, right? They're going to encourage you to help build their empire. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you're in a 9 to 5 job and you have a top tier dreams and a top tier vision and goals, you have to create a system for yourself to protect yourself, right? Sometimes it depends on what type of person you are, what type of environment you're in, right? Sometimes you got to play the low key game where nobody don't know nothing about what you're doing until it's being done, right? My thing, I had a hard time. If you're like me, you have a hard time playing the low key game, right? Because I've tried it, but every time I try the low key game, people call me out about what I do on the side all the time. So if you can't play the low key game while you're like at your 9 to 5 job or whatever, sometimes you just have to just embrace it head on and try to persevere through the job, right? Because they're not going. There are people there that see what you're doing on the side, and they don't want you to recognize that it can actually benefit you, right? Sometimes you might end up in a job environment that's supportive of your dreams and supportive of growth, right? If you do end up in that and you're like doing something you really are like, it's not the best thing, but my job is supportive and my job helps me with my resources, right? Don't give that up. Like if your job is like supportive and they help you with your resources and they're not gossiping, slandering, trying to ruin your reputation or whatever, and you don't have to worry about micromanaging bosses or bosses that play favorite at your job and they support you, keep that. And while you're keeping that, you don't have to necessarily talk about what you're doing on the side to grow your business or follow your dream or whatever, right? You can do that low key while you're in your job environment. And just because you have a top tier dream doesn't mean that you shouldn't be good at your job. You should be good at every job that you do. Honestly, you should put that effort in. Even though this is not exactly what you want to do, it's still your job and it's still your reputation and people still talk about how you are as an employee, right? So that's something that you have to think about. This is just anybody who still following their dreams and in the 9 to 5. Just because you're in a 9 to 5 life doesn't mean you can't follow your dreams. And I feel like a lot of people end up doing a job that they're not very satisfied with and they start to feel stuck. But you start feeling stuck when you start feeling like you're limited and there's no way out, right? Most of the time when you feel like there's no way out, that's your mind. Your mind does that to you. Your mind does that to you. The people in your environment and the mood of your environment can do that to you. So another thing is you got to keep your motivational tools and you got to keep the people around you that are going to motivate you, right? The people that are going to hold you accountable for when you're slacking on what you're supposed to be pursuing, right? Because those people are important and they'll help you keep your head on straight about what you're planning on doing, right? So when you're in the top tier thing and you're following your dreams though, it's different. Sometimes you might run into the people that are like, yes, we're all winning. We're all going to do this and we're all a team. And then you might run across the people that view you as a threat, right? Those are the people that are about sabotage. Those are the people that will defame your character and spread lies, slander, and gossip about the type of person that you are, right? So you got to keep an eye out for those people as well, too. Keep an eye for your support system and an eye for the sabotagers, right? And sometimes they can be flipped. You might think that somebody is like against you, but meanwhile, they might be just being tough on you because they see that you have potential and they want you to push yourself. There's a difference between a person who's being tough on you because they see your potential and they want you to push yourself and a person who was sitting here to sabotage you. They're two different people, right? Constructive criticism can hurt sometimes. But if somebody's giving you constructive criticism in order to help your life and to help you make the right decision, you shouldn't just discount that, right? Everybody's sensitive to criticism. And that's normal, right? But there's a difference between constructive criticism and criticism that was meant to deter you from your path, right? Constructive criticism is like, okay, I see what you're doing. That's good. But this area right here is sloppy and you need fine tuning. If somebody says something to you like that with that tone, sometimes you can think that they're just trying to be a hater. But no, they see that your work is good. It can do good. But in order to make it excellent, in order to make it great, fix up the sloppy area. Make sure you fine tune this and switch that. That's constructive criticism, right? When it comes to a person who's just trying to dismantle you and make you feel like you can't do it, they'll be like, oh, I see your little project and everything, but it's not that great. Like, who do you think you are, Beyonce? Like, I don't know why I always say that. Who do you think you are, Beyonce? Who do you think you are, Michelle Obama? Like, that's somebody being a critical hater. They're not giving you constructive criticism. They're just tearing you down and they make you feel like you can't do it, right? So constructive criticism is they give you notes to fix your shit. Whereas a person who's a saboteur and trying to bring you down, they'll just make you feel bad about what you're doing, and there's no real constructive criticism, right? So those are some things that can help people if you have top tier dreams and trying to follow your goals all the way through and everything. And sometimes you just have to tunnel vision and block out all the surrounding distractions, right? That's also something that can happen too, right? So like I said, anybody who's stuck in a 9-to-5 job right now and you got dreams of excellence, right now is the time to do it. The world is breaking apart. The supply chain is breaking apart. Industries are breaking down. New industries are re-emerging. This is the time to think outside the box, be creative, follow your ingenuity, right? So right now it feels like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? But we're just building a new society, and everybody, I feel like I just want people to be on code. We are building a new society, and you have to figure out whether your ingenuitive ideas can help bring this thing forward, or if it's going to hold stuff back, right? With that, all that things, right? All those things, right? We're in a new revolution. We're in the biological revolution. Right before we were in the industrial revolution, we're in the technological biological revolution right now. It's happening right now, right? So, yeah, if you feel like you have ideas that can push forward the new world, or you see some things in your head that are like, I have a vision and I feel like I just need the right tools to manifest it, follow it. Follow the people who are going to help you create that vision, right? Unfortunately, sometimes it might not be in your own backyard. You might have to outsource, outbranch, and figure out where else it is, right? So don't let anybody's sabotage bring you down. Sometimes they just don't believe in themselves. They weren't able to accomplish what they wanted to, so they tear other people down, and that's not your fault. Sometimes your boss, they might be making good money, but that's not necessarily what they wanted to do with their life, and they might be sour about it, where it's like, I'm making all this money, but I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing, so they might end up being a dickhead all day, right? Also not your fault, right? Everybody goes through shit, and everybody goes through a hard time. It's not about going through a hard time. It's about how you bounce back from it, how you react to it, how you let it define your life, right? Your hard circumstances do not define everything that happens in your life. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. I'm not saying that's going to be easy, because it's not. It's going to be hard as shit. But if you have that grit and that determination to pursue what you set out to do, it shouldn't be a problem, and you can get it done, right? It's not always easier said than done. Everybody knows that, but anybody can do anything that they put their mind to. All right. I want everyone to believe that you can do what you put your mind to. Don't let anybody tell you any different. All right. I'm out here, and I want to spread love and positivity and upward growth and rebirth after all of the negative, devastating things we've been through as a society. Right. I'm spreading love, sending positive energy, sending joy, sending hope, sending fulfillment, sending new beginnings, sending all of that to all of you guys. Love, kisses, light always trumps darkness. And with that being said, bye, deuces, peace.